Hello, beautiful people, amazing souls. How are you? I hope this finds you well. This is Sheila Bicknell, BlueWater Oracle, coming to you on November 24th, 2020, mid-morning my time, Eastern Standard Time. I am west of Montreal, so I am in Eastern Canada in the province of Quebec, and it is a beautiful, sunny, bright, but cool and breezy late autumn, pre-winter phase here. And I wanted us to touch base, to look at the November guidance reading. So for those who follow me, who have watched or learned or listened on my page, and my pages, BlueWater Oracle is my Facebook page, also on Instagram, and my website is BlueWaterOracle.com. I do intuition. I work with intuitive guidance and wisdom to help us navigate through life's adventures and life's wonders and also life's very, very challenging moments. And each month I do a guidance reading. So I pull one or two, usually oracle cards, perhaps tarot cards in the future as well. And I see what wisdom wants to come through the card and I write it down. So because we're in this last week of November, the card for this month is embarking on an adventure. And I remember when I pulled this card at the beginning of November, I thought, oh wow, like really, is 2020 not an adventure? Life to me is always an adventure. It has its ups and downs, it has its roller coaster moments, it has its absolutely fabulous, beautiful, breathtaking, amazing moments, but always an adventure. And that's really what this card brought to us in the beginning of November. So whether you are up here where we are preparing for winter, or whether you are somewhere that the seasons don't change quite so much, or whether you are down under and you're embracing your summer season, then coming towards your summer season, then I hope that perhaps something about this guidance will work with you, assist you, and give you reflection points and wisdom. So I have printed it out. As I do. My written guidance readings are quite long, which is why I don't do one every day, because quite often I get a lot that comes through. But who knows, in the future, I may do it. Let me know if you would like me to. So I wanted to read through this and to let you know. And of course, I didn't even take out the card, which is a bit silly. So let me find it. This is the handy dandy gathering of all of the cards. So this is what happens when you want to do a live video, is that, or a video that you only want to record in one take, is that you get to do things as they come up. So let me find it. So this is the back of the Gateway Oracle cards. This is a deck by Denise, Linn. And let me find the card. It takes a minute. Oh, I'll show you that one as well, because that's interesting for this week. So the affirmation on this card is I savor the wonders of the world. And this reading really touched on both. There we go. So I have a bunch of different oracle cards that I use on a regular basis. So let me just put the cloth back over these because the sun is reflecting a lot. There we go. Move that. Perfect. Okay. So here is the embarking on an adventure card. Okay. Again, by the Gateway Oracle cards by Denise, Linn. And the affirmation is I savor the wonders of the world. So you see the big balloon and there's somebody with a telescope looking at different wonders, man-made wonders that we have throughout the world, as well as some palm trees and a lot of sand and beautiful clouds. Okay. Interestingly, before I start reading the guidance, I have my own membership group called the Oracle Cove. And this week, this is the card that we picked for our members, launching your journey. And the affirmation is, I am an intrepid traveler, sailing forth into the universe. So if there's anything about this week that really feels adventure, like you're stepping into a journey, maybe you're not sure of all of the details, but perhaps there's a lot of different things going on, great things, as well as perhaps some challenging or things that get you really to reflect and notice, guess what? It's probably part of the energy of this week. And so let me read. What I thought I would do is I'll read the reading to you, and then we'll chat in between as things come up. All right, so putting on my intuitive hat, here we go. Adventure is a fundamental part of each day of each life. How do you define adventure in your life? For some people, the concept of adventure is something they go away to experience. They go on an adventure. They travel to an adventurous location or to have an adventurous experience. This is heightening something for them, satisfying something within, bringing them addition and expansion in their life. Okay? So this is good for you to notice. How do you tend to think of adventure? Do you think of it as your daily life is an adventure? Or do you think that you go on an adventure? You go somewhere to an adventure? So that's good for you to notice. And why? Why do you travel? Why do you bring adventures in like that? Great for you to notice. Okay? So then, when the daily life is told and recounted within the adventurous spirit, it shifts from being what might be considered drudgery by some to being full of storylines, characters, situations, learning, and experiencing. There are those who lead themselves off into the world to escape the daily grind. Others who choose to live in adventure mode all the time. And those who experience and embrace the adventure in whatever way life brings it to them. Okay? So if you think about a story being told, have you ever listened to a story being read out by somebody? Right? Maybe you saw some of my videos in the spring where I was reading children's stories in videos like this. Perhaps you've seen some of your favorite actors or celebrities reading books. Perhaps you're reading books to your children or your grandchildren. How you read the book, how you put intonation into what is happening adds to the story, adds to the adventure. So the same thing in this paragraph can be said as daily life is told with the adventurous spirit. It shifts from being what might be called drudgery to some to being full of storylines, characters, situations, learning, and experiencing. So when you think of your own story, when you think of your own daily life, look at it. How do you talk about it? How do you exchange about it? What is the story and how do you tell it? Because perhaps there's not only change in content that you want to have, but perhaps in how you are perceiving it. And this is where intuitive readings often come together. Each individual will approach adventure from their own perspective. The journey of soul, past lives, ancestry, childhood, energy, location, family, close contacts, and daily activities is all unique to each person. Why would any community be created to expect all to live the same way and to see aspects from the same palette? Each plays a role that only they can play. Only they can create and live. When they are embraced, they can blossom in their own roles and skills. When others are encouraged to embrace the uniqueness of their neighbors and see what they provide to the whole, unity and equity are celebrated. So allow yourself to notice, what is the perspective you have for your adventure? Everything that's come together for you about your life, in your life, that is creating your journey right now. And then notice, all right, where do I live? What's my community? What's my society? Do we expect everybody to fit in the same box? Do we expect everybody to live the same way? But when you really look at people you know, people in your family, your closest friends, your work colleagues, your family connections, your community connections, and notice, are they all really the same? Do they all have the same roles and skills in life? And yet is the community created that way? Interesting food for thought. And how can we encourage people to embrace their uniqueness so that everyone is lifted? What do they provide to the whole, where unity and equity are celebrated? The reading goes on. When one is immediately put higher than another because of location, wealth, opportunity, size, color, gender, skills, or interests, it is the whole that is denied and suffers. Even if the perception is that one rises up higher and gets advanced. Some of the so-called wonders of the world can be incredible ways to see and acknowledge history and the journey of man in the world. They can also be a way to perceive that one item or one location is immediately better or more profound than another. Let me go on. Is a pyramid really more incredible than the mud and reed home a family lives in? Is a great wall really more valuable than the natural deep forest? Is a tower really more masterful than the cheetah? Is a skyscraper really more important than the bicycle used to get to town? Perception, understanding, and compassion help to comprehend value in different ways. They also help to enjoy what is fascinating about one thing without taking away the value of another. When I put this reading in writing, it comes through me and I write it. I interpret, I readjust, and I write. And when I wrote those 2 paragraphs, I thought, wow, what a way to remind us of value and how we perceive value, right? Where we put value on. And we can see it, I think, we can see it in much of human society around the world, where value has been placed over time, and where now perhaps the world is saying, should we adjust that? Is there a way to adjust that? Is there something else to look at, something else to bring forward? Interesting. The reading goes on. A family of leaders may be gifted at leading, delegating, and creating. But are they also able to grow food, clean water, build houses, and understand the dynamics of fulfilling relationships? They may have a carpenter in their family with skills others cannot replicate. Perhaps an artist that shows the world in new ways and brings color and perspectives of sight. Do they see them in these ways, or are they funneled into leadership roles? This family may need to welcome in someone who can listen and mediate between the needs of the whole unit, bringing explanation and interpretation between the pieces, skills that perhaps they do not have within their own home population. And perhaps they will need to walk to get to know their neighbor who understands the land and its creatures, who creates food that lasts for generations, fills and nourishes the people as well as the natural world. Who is leading who? It goes on. Without all the others, the leaders are just a group of people standing together. They may wonder where to get their meal or how to shelter from the cold. They may not understand the resources that will help them heal if they could trip over themselves, or if they should trip over themselves and need help. Could they learn? Certainly. Would it be as efficient as aligning with someone who has those skills, interests, and methodologies easily in their being? Probably no. So again, these paragraphs are looking at the different qualities of people and how combining in a community so that the leaders are raised up in how they lead, how they see, but that perhaps they don't have the skills to provide the food, or perhaps within the leader's family dynamics and relationship is not their forte, but they can bring in somebody else in the community who does, and allows them to come together in a more unified family, or to see the skills and benefits and value in each person. Who's leading who? I love the concepts. Do we need as a human population in the world? Do we need leaders where there's one leader and everybody follows? Or do we need, as some places have, entire groups of people working together, discussing, negotiating, looking at skills, looking at needs, looking at different perspectives? Acknowledging the adventure each is on welcomes a point of view that inspires life, expands life, allows the cycle of life to be experienced without judgment of value or expectations of skills beyond what is within this time around. The one who climbs a mountain may be seen as a greater adventurer, but are they really when compared to the one who cares for a household of partner and children? What if they were all noticed and embraced for the adventure in the way they see it and experience it, bringing their skills and sharing? The climber showing the family a view they might not otherwise see or know about, expanding imagination and understanding of the world. And the caregiver bringing nurturing, companionship, and a meal to the climber who may otherwise feel utterly alone when back among the humans. Embarking on your adventure may be finding your next meal, or it may be creating a business model that impacts millions of people. Neither presents with greater value than the other, simply different perspectives. If your business model did not go as planned, could you not find yourself in search of your next meal? If while finding your next meal, could you not have great inspiration and meet someone who helps you achieve creation and success, never worrying about food abundance again? The distance between the adventures is not really so great when we're invited to and choose to see. Start by seeing the wonders in your own life, however they show themselves. Allow the daily wonders to play with the dream wonders, the day-to-day adventures to bring wonders, while others are created and inspired. Then expand to see the wonders in another, how they approach life, where they are skilled in ways you are not, and where they have adventures you would like to learn about or explore and support. And when, in the event it happens, you see that someone's wonder is being belittled or taken for granted by another's adventure, remind people of their wonder and lead towards unique adventures that connect the whole, leaving no one behind or forgotten. Start by seeing the wonders in your own life. Then see the wonders and skills in another. Creating adventures that connect the whole, so that no one is left behind or forgotten. How does that sound? You can start it today in your own life. We can all start it today in our own life. And hopefully we are already. May you experience wonders of the world in all of your adventures, today and all days. May you see and feel the wonder within, today and all days. So this intuitive guidance reading came with the Embarking on an Adventure card from the Gateway Oracle cards by Denise, Linn, and of course was brought through me, with infinite divine wisdom. I hope that your rest of your November brings adventure that shows you the wonders of the world, within you as well as around you, within others as well as around them. Wishing you well. Until next time. Ciao.